those people, the difference between those people and other people, they are always optimistic for the future. They never complain. They always try to solve the problems of the others. Where is the opportunity? The opportunity always lies in the place where people complain. Some people sit there complain. You think, if I can solve that complaint, that's the opportunity. He sat me down. He said, "Look, I've got this idea where I think we can listen to Indiana basketball, sporting events, anywhere in the world by using the internet." Starting a business without any financial backing, it's easy to slip the wrong side, and in fact, most entrepreneurs do slip the wrong side. The important thing is then just to pick yourself up and start again. And if it doesn't work at that time, keep going until. Woo! Good morning, family. Rise and shine. How are we feeling coming into the Thursday? Such an abundant week. So many great things are pouring in right now, and I'm excited to see it, and I'm not surprised as well. This is what happens when we plant the seeds. The product of the harvest is absolutely inevitable. So good morning, Shane and Talina, Johnny in the building. What is going on? Let me go ahead and get live before we dive into the topic. Today, we're going to be talking about the power of social media, how to go ahead and build your brand, how to go ahead and utilize your last name to go ahead and make the most of the times that we are living in, because there's never been a better time to go out and build our brand than right here, right now. So let me get IG tapped in, and we're going to dive into the day. And as we get them live, what is everybody grateful for coming into this beautiful Thursday? Here we go. The power of social media is live. Awesome. So family, I'm grateful for God. I'm thankful to be alive. I'm grateful to be able to have the opportunity to make the most of every day. The morning rituals, the morning routine has been getting deep. We're almost at 300 days. How many days are you guys consistent getting into the feeling, writing out the vision, getting clear on exactly who we are to become, what is coming in the future, and being able to have the feeling before it already happens? So family, I'm grateful for all of you taking the time for yourselves and investing back into you, because I know it comes back tenfold. It is just a matter of time. So here we go. The power of social media. After we get done, day 332. Oh my goodness. 365 is literally just a sneeze away. How cool is that? Let's go. Cedric in the building. Awesome. So family, I'm going to go ahead and drop this PowerPoint down in the chat once we go ahead and finish this up. And today I'm going to be going through the power of social media, how to build your brand, how to go ahead and really stand out, and how to make the most of your last name. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. This is going to be a good one. You guys are going to get a lot of value for this one. So if we're being honest, when it comes to building a brand, when it comes to social media, at the beginning, you guys you can go back and look at my page, and you can see I was very afraid to put myself out there. In fact, I was so worried about what other people thought. But I wanted to change my mindset. I wanted to start putting out positivity. So I actually started going on Google, and I would take the line quotes, and I would go ahead and put them on my page. And as I started to grow, as I started to get more confident, I was ready to put my face on camera. I was ready to go ahead and start speaking. And this is the transformation of growth that happens over time. Because here's the truth. For most of us, speaking on camera, making a video, making a story, that's a little uncomfortable for a lot of us, right? Especially at the beginning. But the more we do it, the better we get. So here's the deal, okay? When it comes to building a brand, when it comes to social media, the first thing is to understand it's going to take you understanding who it is that you guys are, right? What skill sets are you learning? What are you guys good at? What are some of your strengths? And understand that now we can go ahead and leverage all of these, right? One of the biggest tips I learned at the beginning is to not think about as much as creating at the beginning. If you have no idea what to post, you can start thinking about documenting your journey, right? Here's what I've been able to notice. For most people, they're walking around as drifters, right? What does that mean? 95% of people, they don't have goals. They don't have visions. They're just floating by, and nobody's really excited to go to work tomorrow, right? How many of your friends, you were to ask them, how many of you guys are excited to go to work tomorrow? Not many of them are going to go ahead and raise their hand. So people are looking for opportunity. They're looking for change, right? So you being able to become the best version of yourselves, we're naturally going to inspire others to do the same. And this was a major realization that I had over the course of the journey, but it's so true. So as you guys start becoming a product of the product, as you start to document the morning rituals, getting up early, reading, journaling, meditating, yoga, filming, that's a 1% activities right here. Most people are not doing this. And just by documenting your growth, you're going to allow other people to go ahead and see for themselves what's actually possible, right? In a world with so much noise, so much negativity going on, right? Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change we want to see. So if you're looking to attract leaders inside of your business, inside of your life, inside of your organization, first off, it's going to take us becoming that leader as well, right? Mastering the product, mastering ourselves, mastering our emotions, and everything else, I'm telling you, is going to come full circle, right? So here's the next piece I want to go ahead and give you guys. Ready? Staying consistent, right? If there's one major tip I can give everybody for social media, this is going to be consistency, okay? Think about your content is like a TV show, right? As you start getting consistent, as we start putting out more value to people for them to watch, they're going to start getting excited. They're going to be curious about what the next piece of content, what the next episode is going to be. And this is where we start creating traction. You see, but without consistency, people have a very short attention span. They're going to go find somebody else to watch. They're going to go find another TV show to go ahead and tune into. So I had to start thinking about what kind of value can we give on a consistent basis for people to actually be excited to see what it is that we're doing. Number one, documenting, okay, becoming the best version of ourselves is going to be an easy way to go ahead and start out. Number two, I want you guys to think about scheduling out the day, right? My mentor always told me for years, show me your schedule, show me your calendar, and I'll be able to show you what your income looks like next month, next 6 months, and the whole next year. And for a long time, I would hear that and I would go and I would try and do my schedule in my head, but I never put it on paper. I never actually put it on a calendar to where I could see it every day. And I'm telling you right now, when I actually did that, when I started writing down my schedule, when I started actually writing out the blueprint before the week even started on Sunday, everything started to change. I started to have more clarity. I started to know what actions to take. I started to get rid of so many distractions that were taking up a lot of my time because now I knew exactly what I was doing for the day when beforehand life happens, right? When we try to do everything in our head, things get in the way and we lose track and things like to pile on and get overwhelming. Drop a 3 down below if you guys have felt like life just gets overwhelming. You get behind on certain things. I can tell you I've been there as well. And one of the major keys that I noticed was because I didn't have things written down and I didn't have them actually on paper, right? So for anybody tuning in, how many of you have actually taken the time, even for this week, to go ahead and put the schedule on either on paper, on Google Docs, on a spreadsheet, or even on a physical calendar that you guys can see every day? That one tip right there changed everything for me, right? So now I know what I'm doing from 6 to 9. I know I have my morning rituals, right? I'm getting up, I'm doing my meditation, I'm working out, I'm journaling. And now I know from 9 to 10, I'm able to go ahead and network. I'm able to go ahead and build my brand. From 10 o'clock, we're on Neno. 11 o'clock, we're on my call. Right after this, I'm getting straight on to the go lives. After that, I'm going to network, right? The whole day is planned out before it even happens. Same thing goes with the week. Same thing goes with the month. I already know what places I'm traveling in the month of June. I know what place I'm traveling in the month of July. Things have already been written out before it even happens. This is why they say, if you fail to plan, we plan to fail. And for a long time, this was something that I struggled with, right? So this is huge. The next key to go ahead and really start understanding the power of social media and how to start leveraging it to its max potential, ready, is going to be becoming a good listener, right? Finding out and really identifying, if you were to think about your audience, what are their needs, what are their concerns, and what are their goals, and what are their dreams? If you haven't noticed by now, essentially what it is that we're doing, we're professional problem solvers, right? And the problem for most of us in our niche, the problem with most people that we're going to encounter and run into They're looking for streams of income. They're not excited about doing what they're doing. They know they can go out and achieve more, and they're looking for a vehicle. They're looking for mentorship, but they just don't know where to go ahead and access it, right? Their goals, their dreams. Most people, they want to live in a nicer house. They want to drive a nicer car. They want to give back to their family. But once again, most of them only have a job. And we all know nobody ever got rich working a 9 to 5. Nothing wrong with a job. I'll be the last person to ever talk down on a job. But even for myself, I started to understand there's a reason why the successful are at the levels where they're at. Because many work a 9 to 5, but how many work the 5 to 9 for their own dreams? And this is where, if you understand this, it's not a matter of if over the next 12 to 18 months people are going to be looking for change. It's just a matter of when. When are people sick and tired? When is that last string finally torn to go ahead and make the decision to go out and do something different? You see, I've been around for years. Shameless Talene, I've been around this industry for years. And if you look at history, history repeats itself. So if you go back and you look at COVID, during COVID, everybody was stuck inside. Everybody started to notice you can't just have a job. You can't just be doing one thing for income, because what happens if that one stream of income is stripped away? So now is a time more than ever where people are starting to realize that you cannot keep doing the same thing and expect different results. We cannot have all these dreams and aspirations and only have one job. Coming into one of the biggest recessions, one of the biggest, I can't even put it into words, one of the biggest financial revolution shifts to ever hit right here, right now. And this is what we're living in. This is what we have access to. So to be a person of value, to be a person to give out keys about crypto, keys about e-commerce, giving others the knowledge about what we can do with trading right from apps on our phone, there's never been a better time than right here, right now. But it takes being a good listener and being able to understand people's pain points. You see, people justify off of logic, but they buy off of emotion. Right? Let me say that again. They justify with logic, but they buy off of emotion. This is why they say facts tell, but stories sell. Your story is what's going to allow people to see that, wow, they were working a full-time job. They were able to go ahead and learn this part-time and now make another stream of income for themselves. I wonder if I can do that for myself as well. My story, 30K in debt, having no job, living out of my car a couple years ago. I didn't come from a beautiful background. So I knew if I could make it happen, there's a lot of people that were sitting in my same shoes, even right now, that are looking for the same vehicle that I was looking for. Even for you, I want you to ask this question. When you joined, when you got started in the Dream Team, what were some things that triggered you? What were your needs? What were your concerns? What were your goals? What were your dreams? And you'll start to notice how these pieces of a puzzle fit, because somebody's probably in your shoes just as you were at one point in time. Speak to that person. Speak to that dot. And watch how much more engagement, watch how vulnerable your content can become. That's going to become magnetic for others to become attracted to come in and listen to see who it is that you are and the value that you bring. You ready? So when it comes to value, here's the question I want to ask you, okay? What platforms are you going to be giving value on a consistent basis? Go ahead and drop it down below. This is really what it's going to take. You've got to identify what platforms you're ready to go ahead and be consistent with. Is it going to be Instagram, YouTube, and Snapchat? Are you going to be utilizing TikTok every day to get to 1,000 so you can go ahead and go live, right? Is it Facebook? Okay, so we have all of these different platforms that it takes you understanding, am I good at speaking? Am I better at video? Am I better at writing? Each of these platforms maybe can go ahead and fit you just a little bit better than the other. So it's going to take time for you to identify which ones am I ready to commit to, and then go all in, and then be consistent on a weekly, on a daily basis. Okay. So this is huge. This is something that I had to really think about. Facebook groups are huge. Instagram is phenomenal. YouTube videos, TikTok, right? All of these different ways we can start tapping into social media to go ahead and maximize our reach, maximize the output of our brand, and really start bringing in individuals who are looking to go ahead and do business with us, right? So that's huge. Next, how to use social media effectively. Okay, I've got 4 more for you. Stick with me. How to use social media effectively. There's a huge digital shift. So to be able to place ourselves in a position to utilize this the right way is a game changer. So 3 tips on how to use social media effectively. Tip number 1, building relationships. Okay. I had to start getting in the mindset of not being worried about what, number one, what other people think. Number two, not being afraid to go out and make new connections. You see, you never know what one DM, one phone call, one message, one follow, one like, one comment can do to your life. You see, family, there's people in my organization from all different states, all different countries. I haven't met a good portion of them. But this is the power of building relationships, not being afraid to go ahead and reach out, not being afraid to go ahead and put out content. You see, building a relationship could be as simple as engaging with somebody's story, getting into somebody's DM with a compliment, dropping a comment on somebody's post. All of these are different ways to start opening the door and building a relationship with somebody. And now when they see you're consistent, now when they see you showing up every day, your content's going to do a lot of the talking for you. So they're going to be able to actually see your work ethic is great. You're hitting the gym. You're growing yourself every day. You're learning these skill sets, and they might be curious about what it is that you do. But it started with building a relationship, reaching out, building your content. Okay. So, tip number one, building relationships. Don't be afraid to reach out in somebody's DM. Don't be afraid to engage with other people's content. That's what opens the door. Tip number two, give value. Give value. God gave us all visions for a reason. There's no need to be afraid to share it. Okay. We all have value to give. We all have a story. We're all learning from 6, 7, 8-figure earners on a daily basis. So most of this content, people don't have access to. People are looking for. So whether we're learning about crypto, e-commerce, trading, any of these niches, we can go ahead and pour into others to allow them to go ahead and get a trailer on what it is that we give, how they're able to go ahead and benefit from what it is that we have. Okay, number 3 is being authentic, being transparent, sharing your journey, right? I'll never forget it. For a long time, I was afraid to share what it is that I've gone through. And I put out one video about actually sharing of me being homeless, me showering in LA Fitness, me having to eat at McDonald's and struggling for 6 months getting out of college. Well, there was people that reached out to me from that ended up completely transforming their life. But that never would have happened if I never got vulnerable to go ahead and share the story. So I want to ask you, who are you holding back from not sharing your story? Okay. I have a phenomenal individual I'm going to get on Dreams to Reality. She saw one of my YouTube videos from 2017 from sharing my story. And that video allowed her to drop out of, she didn't even go to college, pretty much dropped out of high school to commit full time to becoming a trader. And years later, she's still trading full time because the story was shared publicly. Okay. So don't be afraid to share your story. That's a big one. Next, stick with me, fam. I got 3 more. I'm almost done. 3 more slides for you. Number 1 is to set goals. Okay. To set a date, or else it won't come true. A goal without a date is just a dream. Now, a lot of people tell me this is controversial. D, should I set a goal? Should I not set a goal? Here's the thing I want you to go ahead and think about. I'm not worried if you hit the goal by the date. There's been many goals that I haven't hit by the date, but here's what I can tell you. That pressure of actually setting the date and going towards something is completely different than having no goal at all. Because you see, without a goal, it's easy to let a day go by. It's easy to let a week and a month slip by. Whereas if you had a goal, that work ethic we could have compressed that time frame to where the work ethic that we would have done in a month, we could have compressed that into a week because we set a goal and we set a date. So I'm not necessarily worried about what it is that the goal is by that day about hitting it. I would rather aim high than miss, to aim low than actually hit it. Okay. So when it comes to setting goals, have we set the goals for the month of May? Have we set the goals coming into summer? I know what I'm looking to get for Kachings. I know what draws I'm looking to get. I know what ranks I'm looking to go and help you all achieve to get you all to your next level. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to setting goals, getting clear on the vision, getting away the distractions. You see, without goals, without a vision, it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to go hang out with people that we don't need to be spending time with scrolling on social media endlessly, right, day after day. But with goals, the purpose shifts, the priority shifts, the action shift, and the results, I promise you, always follow. Okay? So this is big. This is nuggets I had to learn along the way. Next, my last 2 for everybody. The follow-up. Okay? When it comes to building your social media, I want you guys to understand you're going to have people that start to reach out to you. You're going to have individuals that come out of the cracks as you start building your brand. The follow-up is absolutely key. Okay, I want you to think about it. How many times did it take for you to join the business? How many times did you need to see somebody trading, somebody traveling, somebody learning about e-commerce for you to finally make sense? So you know what? I'm ready to go ahead and pull the trigger. For me, it was about 10 times. I had to go to a couple events. I had to get on a couple of Zoom calls. I had to go to a couple one-on-ones because I've been scammed multiple times. I've had a lot of things that didn't work out in my favor. So I started to understand if that happened for me, there's probably a lot of other individuals that are in my exact shoes. So that's why consistency is so important. Showing up all the time, giving value, being a person to go ahead and do what most people are not willing to do, to live a life today like most can, right? Cedric, tapping more into TikTok. I love that, right? Here's my last key for everybody. My last piece to go ahead and build your social media, right? Following a meeting, booking a meeting when it comes to following up. People want to hear your excitement. My last piece is going to be your leadership skills of mastering the basics. Mastering the basics. You see, as you start building a brand, building your social media, and you're going to have individuals become attracted to what it is that you do, you're going to need to master some of these basics. I'm going to give you 3 basics to go ahead and master, to go ahead and build this business with the power of social media. You ready? Number 1, you're going to need to understand the perfect invite. Okay. Number 2, you're going to have to go ahead and really know edification to a T. And last but not least is the PS3. Okay. The perfect invite, being able to go ahead and be excited / be in a hurry. Number 2, clearing their schedule. Number 3, adding value, right? Why is somebody going to want to show up to see what it is that we have? And number 4, FOMO, fear of missing out, right? Nobody likes to be left out of something that's exclusive. That's the perfect invite. Number 2, the second leadership skill that's crucial to learn with the power of social media is going to be edification. You see, at the beginning, I didn't have all the results. I didn't have all this money trading. I didn't have the fancy house. I didn't have the nice car to go ahead and put out on social media. But I'll tell you what I did have. I had mentors. I had an academy. I had a CEO, and all of them had a lot of success. All of them had a lot of credibility, not like the credibility we have now, but they had a lot more than I had. And the beauty of this business is you're able to leverage somebody else's success. You don't have to know all the answers to the questions. That's what your mentor is there for. That's what somebody with experience and a veteran in the game is there for. So don't worry about it, because your time will come where you're once edifying. Well, guess what? You're once edifying, you're soon going to be edified. Okay, but there's a process. And even as time goes by, guess what? I'm still edifying. Your big leaders, yeah, we're still edifying our mentors. This game never ends. You're always going to be able to leverage others that have more success. And that's a good thing, right? Because it gives us leverage. Number 3 is going to be PS3. For those of you that don't know what the PS3 is, I'm not talking PlayStation. I'm talking about piquing somebody's interest with your posts, with your stories, with your content. And then you're able to go ahead and share value, right? After you pique somebody's interest, why would they be a good fit for what it is that we do? Why would they be able to take a lot of action? Why would they be a massive benefactor of any of these skill sets that we have? And step number 3 is scheduling a 3-way call, getting them onto a Zoom, inviting them to an event. You don't have to answer their questions. You don't have to explain the whole business. In fact, that's the last thing that us as leaders want you to do. You just have to be the trailer to the movie. And that's going to be the easiest hard work that you ever do. Documenting your growth on social media, making new relationships, staying consistent, building these leadership skills, utilizing the power of social media. These are all keys that any of us right now can go ahead and maximize, and you can build a business, you can build a brand, you can create serious influence in 2023 using all of these keys that I just gave you. So family, if you guys got any value from today, if you guys got any piece that you guys are ready to go ahead and implement, drop some 3s down below. If I were to give you guys a couple books to go ahead and really implement coming into 2023, I'm going to give you guys a couple. Number 1 is going to be GoPro, right? For developing a growth mindset, GoPro, and understanding this business. Number 2 is going to be Building an Empire. Okay. 2 major books or audios. You guys can listen to them as well if you really want to go ahead and maximize this business, maximize the power of social media with these skill sets. So family, I love you guys. I appreciate you. And I'm so excited for what is to come from all different angles coming into the month of May for manifestation. So if nobody told you yet today, fam, I love you guys. I'm so grateful. If you're your favorite entrepreneur, defund dreams. Remember, we can be, do, and have anything we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. A lot of value coming for today, family. Stay tuned for tomorrow on another episode with Dreams to Reality. Dream Team, it's game time.